my face is too close to the screen. Hey, what's good with you? How are you living? How are you living? I know it's a little rough. It's just a little rough. I'm trying to get it twisted, trying to get the hair together, trying to get it going, trying to have it look somewhat decent, somewhat manageable, But look, we got to get into all the good stuff because we just watched Monday Night Raw, and what was a solid and fun Monday Night Raw, actually. There you go. Just also have to go back and look back on YouTube, see how we sounding. Always got to go back and listen to the YouTube feed, see if everything was sounding and looking pretty good. Because sometimes when I go back and edit the videos, it comes out a little staticky. Sometimes I'm like all robotic, looking a little weird. So, I was supposed to go live earlier. I did I fell asleep. I fell asleep during Monday Night Raw. That's why I love watching it on Netflix because, well, yeah, I no choice. But I love watching it on Netflix. You can just pop it right on, and it's like you just resume watching like nothing ever happened. It's like nothing happened. It's like I never left. So we had a really, really fun time watching Monday Night Raw. Just got to actually not just now, but actually got a text from my coworker, and she was like, "This is Monday Night Raw has been more." Eventful, and it seems like there's been a lot more drama and a lot going on, on Monday Night Raw than there was on Elimination Chamber. And I thought she was that's spot on. Like that's a spot on fact there, because within the first like 30 minutes, it was just nonstop action, like just a hard hitting affair, And matter of fact, let's just jump right into it. Let's not waste any time here. I was like, I just heard a little beep. Heard a little ding go off. I was like, usually that means that there's something being unplugged. So, which is the scary part in itself. So it looks like we're sounding good. Looks like we're still looking good. Let's jump right into it. Now that I'm more confident, let's jump right into Monday Night Raw, because of course, it all starts off with the vision. Paul Heyman has a problem, of course, with Seth Rollins interfering in the Elimination Chamber. He stomped Logan Paul after Logan Paul got 3 eliminations in the Elimination Chamber. And Paul Heyman wanted to stomp out Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring in Indianapolis, Indiana. And of course, Paul Heyman didn't come alone. He had Logan Paul and Austin Theory with him. And even though Adam Pearce tried to come out and settle things, try to soothe things down, there was a masked man that came from out the audience. And then, of course, it was another masked man. So Austin Theory went chasing one. Logan Paul went chasing another. One cornered Paul Heyman, and then another one went right behind Paul Heyman as well, took off the mask. The one behind Paul Heyman was Seth Rollins himself. Hits him with the chair. Oh, if you're in Indianapolis, Indiana, you know exactly what that means. When Seth Rollins comes out with a chair, somebody's getting stabbed in the back. Like that's just automatic. Like if you know the Shield history or just wrestling history in general, or if you're just in Indiana, if you're from Hammond, Indiana, if you're from Indiana itself, just dox myself out there. But if you're from Indiana and you've seen, of course, the craziness that CM Punk that Seth Rollins put. Not only the Shield through, not only CM Punk through, but of course Roman Reigns as well, and now Paul Heyman. Nothing good ever comes out of CM Punk. Jesus Christ, I got CM Punk stuck in my head. Nothing good ever comes out of Seth Rollins having a chair in hand and also just creeping up from behind you. Better watch your back. Seth Rollins is creeping up from behind you. It's just like, he just comes out of nowhere. And it's just one thing that I really, really love, that number one, they keep this going. I love that they keep, of course, the Seth Rollins backstab going, because it's iconic. And of course, like I said, being in Indianapolis, Indiana is something that's like a cornerstone with Seth Rollins. So, and then of course, Paul Heyman was the one to get stomped out. Of course, he got hit with a curb stomp. I didn't think he was going to go through out with it. I didn't think Seth Rollins was going to go through with it. I thought Paul Heyman was going to get saved at some point in time. And Seth Rollins just came out there and just curb stomped the absolute dog crap out of Paul Heyman. Something that was absolutely needed, and something that, of course, just blessed all of our hearts. Just blessed all of our little hearts. And a huge shout out to C Fluid. Evening, sir. Nah, brother, we got to talk. C Fluid, we got to talk. We got to talk, brother, because what was all this that you was talking about AJ Lee? What was this AJ Lee nonsense that you were bringing up? Talking about she's like, I don't necessarily want to say that you called her mid, but it didn't sound like you had the highest opinion of AJ Lee. It's just like, and I would like to hear more. It's like I would like to hear more because I didn't catch all of it all the way through. But I seen you had some hot takes on AJ Lee. I definitely would love to hear them because, man, and I don't think you would be wrong in depending on what you would say, but because AJ Lee is definitely deserving of some criticism here. But man, one person that doesn't deserve any criticism at all is Dragon Lee. I love that Dragon Lee and Gunther have just been on site ever since Gunther got AJ Lee out of here. Of course, AJ Lee going on his retirement run. Well, not even a retirement run. That was the quickest retirement run we ever had. He was just like, hey, man, I'm going to put my career on the line. I'm going to sleep now. It's like, well, guess I'm going to sleep now. And now AJ Lee is going into the Hall of Fame. But before Gunther could even come out and spat his, AJ Styles venom to the wrestling world, Dragon Lee has just been on his ass, man. Dragon Lee, every time he sees Gunther, if he hears that Gunther is in town, if he hears Gunther's around the corner, he's going up there and he's going to try to beat the brakes off of him. And I love it. I respect it from Dragon Lee. And man, and this is why Monday Night Raw was 1,000 miles and running, because Gunther, he's 5 seconds into his entrance and he's already getting jumped by Dragon Lee. Top tier, man. And a great back and forth match until, unfortunately, Dragon Lee gets caught in a sleeper hold, and Gunther just rips his mask off. Just give me that, brother. You ain't using this. And Dragon Lee just taps with the quickness because he's exposed. He's exposed. So we have to get up out of there. He taps with the quickness, and Gunther still continues to choke him out even after he's getting choked out. And I do like that, he still has some, it looks like he still has some makeup on his face. You can't really see, couldn't really see Dragon Lee's face, in totality. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. But Gunther is on some demonic timing, bro. We gotta arrest this dude. We gotta get Gunther out of here. Like, honestly, Gunther has been on demon time. He's been taking out your favorite wrestlers, and I'm talking about not just favorite wrestlers. We're talking childhood heroes. Gunther is taking out childhood heroes. John Cena, Goldberg, AJ Styles. Damn it, I'm starting to think Randy Orton next. I'm starting to think Randy Orton up next, man. I'm starting to think Randy Orton up next to get to feel the wrath of Gunther. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. But I gotta give it to Gunther, man. He's putting in a freaking masterclass. I got nothing but positives to say about Gunther. Huge shout out to C Fluid. This is one of the better Raws in a while. Yeah, I gotta agree. Everything. Like I said, my coworker texted me, everything's just 1,000 miles and running. We wish you would have got this at the Elimination Chamber. Unfortunately, we did not, but Gunther has been beating ass. Gunther has been beating ass. Gunther's been putting both, and Gunther's been my favorite. Gunther's my favorite wrestler so far. And we got to put it out there. And I asked this question before, but I still haven't gotten a straightforward answer because it's tough. Where would you rank Gunther at in terms of evilness? Is Gunther reaching bald head Randy Orton levels? Is that what we got to talk about when we rank Gunther when it's all said and done? Is he in the bald head Randy Orton level? Because bald head Randy Orton, he was punt kicking people in the head, getting them out of there for months. It wasn't just weeks. It wasn't for a couple of days, months. He got RVD out of there. He got the McMahons. This man was kicking the McMahons left and right all over the place. Triple H didn't even stand a chance against Randy Orton. Now, of course, he did beat Randy. But, Randy Orton was putting belt to ass on a lot of people back in the day. Bald head Randy Orton was psychotic. When you talk about hearing voices, you genuinely thought this man was something wrong with him. You genuinely thought, oh, hold on, my hair is flipping. It was so crazy. Dang, I was my hair was just peeking out. I got that alfalfa going on. But you genuinely thought that there was something going on with Randy. You genuinely thought that he was hearing voices in his head because he's twisting and turning. You can see his eye. You saw it in his eyes. You saw the craziness being put on full display. And even when Randy was like the wheels were turning, you could tell something was brewing inside of Randy. And then, of course, when he would make those decisions, he would look back oh man, during those situations, during those moments, he kind of had moments of oh man, I didn't even mean to do that. Like, it's like he snapped back into reality, like, oh man, like I wasn't even trying to, go that crazy. But man, Gunther has just been absolutely dogging. Should we put Gunther up there with baldhead Randy Orton? Because even before Randy Orton, let's not even put baldhead Randy Orton. Let's put Randy Orton. Because Randy Orton was legend killer. Taking out our favorite legends. Took out his own father. Took out Undertaker. Well, he tried to take out Undertaker, but took out Hulk Hogan. Thank you very much, sir. So like Randy Orton was going through, and Mae Young had to get the brunt force of Randy Orton. So Randy Orton was just an absolute demon. Should we put Gunther up there? Is Gunther reaching demon territory? Huge shout out to C Fluid. Man, I hope Gunther doesn't take out Rey Mysterio next. Hey, but that's what Dominic Mysterio wants. If Rey Mysterio ever does a retirement match, I hope it's against Dominic Mysterio, honestly. Like that's good. That's a classic top tier heel move. You know what, Dad? You're such a deadbeat. I'm gonna make sure you're staying at home for good. I'm gonna retire your ass. It's just like I want to see Dominic Mysterio retire his dad. Is that too much to ask? Is that a lot? But well, now that we're here, C Fluid, we can talk about AJ Lee. Of course, AJ Lee got the win over Becky Lynch at the Elimination Chamber, and what was a really, really slow match. And we're gonna see a slower match at WrestleMania Night 2 when CM Punk take on Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is already slow paced. His matches are already slow and they already drag on as they do. CM Punk's, him and Finn Balor, they've been putting on some really, really fire matches, but I have zero faith that CM Punk and Roman Reigns are going to put on a back and forth, a fast-paced masterclass. Nah, this is going to be a slow burn. Like a slow, methodical match that we're going to have to, I think the first 10 minutes is going to be a little rough. It's going to start off slow, and then we're going to have to kind of, it's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. I don't have really high expectations in CM Punk and Roman Reigns, completely tearing the house down. I am looking forward to the match. I am looking forward to see what's happening between the two, but I don't think it's going to be like this masterclass back and forth, high quality match that I'm expecting like John Cena, Cody Rhodes, compared that type of match compared to how CM Punk and Roman Reigns are going to do it this year. C Fluid says Becky has been doing way too many favors for little Miss AJ Lee. See, and that's the thing. It was either Miss AJ Lee or Miss Maxine Dupree. It's gonna be a pick your poison. Both of them right now, you're pretty much being put in the same boat with both of them. At least with Maxine Dupree, she's on the rise because you're working out for her to be great or for her to be good in the ring or just good all around, in the future. So if you wanted to polish that, of course, you would continue on with Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree. But AJ Lee, she has the experience. She has the fanfare behind them. And, man, I couldn't even imagine the merch sales, on AJ Lee. AJ Lee and CM Punk in totality. It's got to be through the absolute roof. So you got to give it to AJ Lee. I feel like that's one of the things that's just automatic. You got to give it to AJ Lee there in terms of winning the title and being put back in the title picture. But for her to say, ladies, show me what you got, you haven't even shown us what you got. Like, let's be honest here, AJ. Let's be honest. She's talking about show me what you got. Becky Lynch had to carry us through that match. I'm talking about not just you. She didn't have to carry you. She carried us through that match. That match was long. Oh, uber long. So, I'm going to be expecting something really, really mediocre for this AJ Lee world title run. Oh man, looks like my father's here, and it looks like I locked the door as well. I'm gonna have to open up the door for him. You guys give me 1 second. I just gotta go up and open up this door for my dad real fast. So I'm gonna leave this timer on. I should be back beforehand. Woo! All right, we back. I was like, let me hurry up and open this door because I already know I'm gonna be in big trouble if I don't get that door open, type deal. So, even going back into Monday Night Raw and AJ Lee, like I said, I'm not expecting a lot out of this AJ Lee title run. I think it's needed. I definitely think it's needed. Of course, like I said, AJ Lee has the fanfare. AJ Lee, of course, has that star power around her. The in ring, the ring rust is gonna get off of her. So we're just as gonna have to hold pretty much wait on that. Wait till we start seeing, of course, a more fast paced style from AJ Lee, and if not even fast paced, more. Huge shout out to C Fluid, more fluid. It's just like more fluid, honestly. Huge shout out to C Fluid. The promo battles leading up to Mania will be better than the actual match between Punk and Roman. Boom. Star that one. I think that's 100% facts. Like everything that they're saying back and forth is awesome. You love the heat between the two. You love the drama, of course. But at the end of the day, their words is going to be 10 times better than what they're actually going to do in the ring. I have zero faith that they're going to put on a barn burner masterclass. This is a WrestleMania main event match. This is a high quality match. I'm just not expecting a high quality match. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not expecting a high quality match from a high quality match that we're technically supposed to be getting. Of course, we got the original El Grande del Americano taking on Rayo. And of course, Chad Gable got the win. Like, let's just stop it here. Like, it's Chad Gable. Like we know who it is. Of course, now he's speaking. We're hearing him speak a little bit more now. And I got to give a huge shout out to Corey Graves, because Corey Graves was just straight up, hey, look, just because you say one word in Spanish doesn't mean you're fluent in the language. And that's spot on. Like, that's spot on. Just because you're saying uno and gracias all over the place, it really don't really mean that you're over here fluent in the language. Huge shout out to C Fluid. Roman needs to get on. Yeah, Roman needs to get on that with Punk about his dog. That's a fact. Seeing as though Punk went there with Roman's father, that's 100% fact. That would have been the first thing I would have went to if I was Roman. Hey man, how your dog doing? Hey, where Larry at? You know what I'm saying? Hey, where Larry? And I'm not saying that as big. I'm just saying that's what Roman said. I'm just saying that's what Roman should say. I just like I'm just putting the seed in there. Hey, but it's true. But it's true. Like, he talking about his dad. That is what it is. He talking about my dad. I can talk about your dog. Dad, dog. It's just like, come on now, brother. Like, who's really winning in this situation? So, honestly, huge shout out to both guys. But I'm actually going to get into that a little bit later. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Obafemi got called out by Rusev. They started throwing hands as well. So we're going to get Obafemi taking on Rusev next week. And we're going to see Rusev get the break speed off of him next week. And I am expecting a back and forth matchup. If not anything, I would definitely see like a no contest. Like both of them just beating the brakes off of each other outside the ring. None of them getting back into the ring by the count of 4. And then, of course, ending the match in a no contest. That's something I could definitely see. Or just seeing Obafemi just winning all the way through. Either or, I just see it looking positively. I see everything looking positively for Obafemi here. Of course, you had Jimmy Uso taking on Austin Theory, but of course, Jimmy Uso won by disqualification. Of course, after Logan Paul tried to interfere as well. But of course, we got the return of his brother Jey Uso as well. He had crutches. He had crutches, and he walked in and he slid in, and he walked in and he slid in. He did one of the two. I was like, but that's the thing though. You injure him so he wouldn't be in the elimination chamber, and then you just immediately bring him back on Monday. That's something that I think is really, really questionable. That's something that I think they not necessarily would say drop the ball on, but that's just weird. Because what's the point of him? What was the point of him winning that triple threat match to begin with? What was the point of him going through that triple threat match against, and of course, maybe he wasn't supposed to win it. Things are supposed to be a little bit different. Oh, and I guess it makes sense because if Bronson Reed was supposed to be in there, then Seth Rollins is supposed to attack Bronson Reed. But since Jey Uso was in there, you got to get Jey Uso in there, out of there, take Logan Paul in so you can have Seth Rollins do that. Okay, I'm sorry. I see the vision now. I had to connect the things. I had to connect the dots to see where they're getting the ideology from. So I can understand them bringing Jey Uso in a little early, but still, it is what it is. Uh, we have Rhea Ripley come out. Pretty much Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. Jesus Christ, she hasn't been named that in years. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I'm talking too fast. I'm talking 1,000 miles and running, so I gotta just slow it down a bit. But Rhea Ripley, of course, won the Elimination Chamber match, and she pretty much just came out to break up with Io Sky. Like honestly, she pretty much just said, "Hey, Io, I'm sorry we lost the titles, but it's my time to do something big, and you can do something big as well. I got to go to SmackDown and handle business with Jade Cargill." And her and Jade Cargill, there's some tension brewing, between Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. And of course, it's something we all love to see. It's something we all love to see. And I'm actually going to share my screen with you guys now so we can see it together, because I thought this was actually really cool and it adds a whole lot to the story that we have here. Rhea Ripley tells WWE Women's Champ to learn how to work in now deleted IG story. Now, of course, this is coming from Jade Cargill saying that Rhea Ripley spends her time hours complaining to creative, which I think is definitely, I think that's a lot. I think that's definitely a lot coming from Jade Cargill as well, because Jade Cargill coming out and saying something like that isn't just, you're complaining about getting on TV, you're complaining. No, you're complaining about what's going on in your storyline. You're complaining about what's going on TV. That now they're talking about you being Hulk Hogan in a way. She's subtly like calling you Hulk Hogan, in more ways than one. And I think that's just so dirty. And of course I'm being, a little bit of exaggerative calling her Hulk Hogan, but what was Hulk Hogan do? What was Hulk Hogan's go-to saying? That's not gonna work for me, brother, or at least rumors saying that's not gonna work for me, brother. That's kind of one of the things she's kind of hinting at with Rhea Ripley. You're spending all your time complaining to creative, talking about what you want, what and this is me adding on, talking about what you want to do and what is best for you and things of that nature. So Rhea Ripley came out and said, "Not having fun. We're not friends. Learn how to work and never lie to defame someone's real human character by breaking a fourth wall." Oh, there it goes. So she says, also, this is going on to say, Green quote posted, though the social media beef seems to begin on Monday with Gargill responding from a post with Chelsea Green on X following Ripley's Chamber victory. Green quote posted a fans questioning Rhea Ripley entering her 7th WrestleMania, where she would be competing for a title, to which Green responded that the Eradicator is proof that you could be kind, respectful, and the most talented wrestler in the world. It's no point to even go and embarrass you on this app. You can always have something to say about everything, Cargill said. Message in Green's message. Green's tag partner as well, Piper Niven, who is currently out with injury, also added to the conversation, stating that the world doesn't revolve around Cargill. Ripley took shots at Cargill on Twitter herself, reposting from WWE following her Chamber victory. Better put your wrestling boots on, and end the clip with "Bring It." And so this is what Cargill said, like hours you spend talking to creative, leading to what we got here. So I love it. It's like I love it. I love it. I love it. This is what we need. We need more drama between a lot of these wrestlers here. And it doesn't have to necessarily be, real, because we can still be getting worked here. Like, at the end of the day, even though you could say you could use your trigger words, you could use, shoot words, at the end of the day, we can still be getting worked here. But I love the fact that Rhea Ripley is applying pressure to Jade Cargill, because at the end of the day, Jade Cargill needs this match. Win or lose, Jade Cargill needs this match, because she has been seeing a lot of criticism over her title reign so far. Obviously, it hasn't been the best, and she hasn't really been doing much lately. And then even looking at her WWE run, hasn't done too much lately. And I think her best work has been with Bianca Belair and Naomi as well. But outside of that, her and Rhea Ripley are, I think, in terms of, compared to what CM Punk and Roman Reigns are going to do, I definitely think they're going to go out there and put on the masterclass. I think Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley are going to put on a masterclass. It's just a matter of how Jade Cargill is going to go out there and perform. Rhea Ripley is, of course, the golden goose in the women's division for WWE. So, which is why I'm saying that which is why I say that Jade Cargill needs this match. Jade Cargill needs to look good. Jade Cargill needs to wow us in more ways than one to win us over. This is the match to win us over. You know, if you're Jade Cargill, Jade Cargill needs this match to turn the narrative around. You know, that she can go, that she is worth the money that WWE dropped on her, that she is worth the time that WWE has spent on her. And Rhea Ripley right here is going to let all that shine. You know, Rhea Ripley is going to put the work in to, of course, make her shine, to make her look good, and of course, put on a classic match. Rhea Ripley has been nonstop, just been absolutely electric in the WrestleMania. Not only in WrestleMania, but I mean, just in totality. I mean, I feel like there was a point in time we weren't going up against Rhea Ripley fatigue. We were getting a little tired looking at Rhea Ripley at a point in time. Now, everything's just smooth sailing, you know? Everything's been really, really fun in terms of what Rhea Ripley has been doing in WWE. So Jade Cargill, she needs this match to prove the doubters wrong. And of course, with Rhea Ripley being in the ring with Rhea Ripley, I think now is any other time. You know, now's a perfect time than any other to go out there, put your best foot forward, and put on an absolute classic to shut up the naysayers. Because this is exactly what Jade Cargill needs. Rhea Ripley is going to be your ticket out. You know, your ticket out to show that you are as lethal and destructive and as talented as WWE says you are. So it's time to nut up and shut up, as they say. We got the IC Championship match. Penta taking on Dominic Mysterio. As soon as I seen Danhausen curse my mans, I already knew off rip Dominic Mysterio is losing this title with the quickness. And I was just shocked it was Penta that was the one that got it done. Of course, Dominic Mysterio was trying to cheat. He was like, "Hey man, give me my hammer." Finn Balor was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that. You said you wanted to win by yourself. Let him do it by himself. He was going to want to do it by himself. Let him do it by himself." And of course, he couldn't do it by himself because he lost his title. He got hit with a Mexican Destroyer, and Penta is your new Intercontinental Champion, and that's something that we need. You know, that's something that is definitely going to feed the streets. We just got to put some time and effort into this. I could definitely see Penta having a short reign just because they wanted to put the belt on him, you know, to get this happy-go-lucky, feel-good moment, and then, okay, now we get to move on to whatever he gets to do. You know, he's probably going to have to hold the title for like 2 meaningless months, and then he's going to drop it. But let's hope that that's not the case. Let's hope that Penta can have a really solid run with this IC title. Hopefully he doesn't drop it at WrestleMania. You know, like that's the last thing I want to see is him just hold the title for a couple weeks. And then we go into Mania, and then he just drops it there. Huge shout out to C Fluid. I honestly thought that Finn would have thrown down for the IC title at Mania. We had this whole thought process here as well at the heel turn as well. We laid it out and everything. We was like, man, this is perfect. Like Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio are going through there back and forth. It's just a matter of time before Finn turns on Dominic Mysterio and not the other way around. You know, I don't think Dominic Mysterio is going to get the Judgment Day to pretty much jump Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is going to be like, hey, man, I'm my own man. I'm getting sick of you. You're a child. Let's throw hands. You know, it's just like, and that's how it is. That's what I thought was going to happen. But it looks like they have Penta holding the IC title. And now if we get a triple threat match out of this, I'm down for that. I'm down for a triple threat match for the IC title, but that's something that I highly doubt. I just don't know who Penta is going to walk into Mania with as an opponent. You know, I think that's going to be the tough one. Who are we going to just hot shot him? Who are we going to hot shot into a rivalry with Penta with? I think that's going to be the biggest question here. Because if we don't, then I definitely either see them having a triple threat match for the title at Mania, or just Penta just not being there at all, which I doubt, but either Penta not being there at all, a triple threat match, or somebody's getting hot shot into a rivalry with Penta. It's just a matter of seeing who's it gonna be. Then of course we got the back and forth between Roman Reigns returns. Like how many times we got to read that? You know, how many times have we read that before? You know, on numerous occasions. Roman Reigns returns. Of course, he had to come out here and spew his venom about CM Punk. Of course, man, it's always hot and heavy when these two go at it. Pause. You know, it's always hot and heavy when they have a promo between these two. And of course, Roman Reigns is talking about retiring the man. You know, Roman Reigns is telling him, hey, man, we're going We're going to get you out of here. We're going to get you on one of them John Cena retirement tours. And we're going to get you on your way. And CM Punk didn't take too kindly of that. He said, man, at this point in time, I'm looking to put you in the ground. I'm looking to put you in the dirt with your father. Oh, when he said he was going to put him in the dirt with his father. Nah, CM Punk, you might have to pay for that, brother. You might have to pay for that one. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm expecting the worst. You know, I'm expecting the worst for our boy Pepsi Phil here. And honestly, I think that's perfect. I think this is perfect still for the feud that we have here. I still agree with Steve Fluid because he definitely says that the promo battles leading up to the match will be better than the actual match. Like, I think that's just, I think that's just set in stone. Is it me or has Punk's shoe game stepped up since his return back to WWE? Yeah, CM Punk has always been a sneakerhead, and now it's being put on full display. It's just a matter of him having him and Roman. Like, Roman was supposed to have a shoe deal. We were supposed to get some Bloodline ones. I was actually kind of hyped for that. I wasn't gonna buy him, but I was definitely hyped to see Roman Reigns or at least a WWE superstar getting a shoe deal. That's huge, insanely huge. So it's got to be CM Punk come next, right? CM Punk and Roman got to have a shoe deal. Young Bucks, I don't think they had a shoe deal, but I think they got like a shout out. I think they got a little something, but nobody has had a shoe deal yet. Let Roman come out with a shoe deal. Roman should have smacked the taste out of CM Punk's mouth. That's 100% fact, man. Smacked earth, wind, and fire out of CM Punk. He just let him walk out. And Roman Reigns have beaten people down for way less. He's beating his cousins down for way less. And he just let CM Punk walk out the ring like that. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy behavior. Yeah, that's crazy behavior. I got to give it to you, C Fluid. You're 100% right. But look, that was Monday Night Raw, and that was, of course, the great work. That was Monday Night Raw. Like C Fluid said earlier as well, I got to keep going back to C Fluid's text. This is one of the better Raws in a while, and it definitely was. Exciting, fun, fast-paced. Honestly, have you seen Roman's Jordans before? Roman has a nice shoe game. I can't put it past Roman. Roman has a nice shoe game. And then, of course, the Bloodline ones, like when those dropped, when I saw, because I was doing a TV show at the time. So I was talking about it on air in Phoenix, and I was like, y'all, if these drop, like, y'all don't understand. A wrestler with a shoe deal, like, this is life changing. Like, this is to change the game around. This turned the game all the way around. So honestly, I'm still looking forward to see what's up next for Roman Reigns and CM Punk. But yeah, all they're talking is just gonna be, pretty good. It's all gonna be pretty good until they get the squabbling in the ring. Roman's Jordans are the Jordans 6 rings. Ooh, see, that's clean. That's clean. See, Roman got a nice shoe game, man. It's just a matter of getting in the stores. We got to get Roman in the stores, man. I don't like Roman for numerous reasons, but I can't hate on him for too much. You got to get so the Young Bucks do got a shoe. Young Bucks shoes are with Reebok. Yeah, okay. Tells me everything I need to know there. Tells me everything I need to know there. They can stay in Reebok. They can stay over there with Reebok. Roman, let's come to the Jordan brand. Let's anybody want a Nike brand too? Anybody need a Nike deal too? Who want to come with Steph to Under Armour? Anybody want to come with Steph, hoop with Steph, and get this Under Armour deal going? It's like, yeah. But outside of that, look, my food is on its way. Actually, my food ain't even on its way. My driver's actually nearby. You see that? Yeah, that's right. Your boy gets beat ups. Your boy be starving. Yeah, those shoes are trash. The Young Bucks are trash. So, I mean, I don't really shock me one bit. Young Bucks are just hot dog water. Just absolute awful. But that was Monday Night Raw. I actually got to get my food. I'm starving. Not only am I starving, I also got to finish the rest of my sleep. It's like I got to finish the rest of my sleep, man. It's been a great time talking to you guys. Huge shout out to C Fluid for joining into the stream. We're going to have a video dropping tomorrow as well on social media, like nothing too crazy. But we're going to have a whole lot of fun with that as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to be looking to go on Circle of Debate on Wednesday. So I wouldn't do a show afterwards. I wouldn't do a heel turn 30 review. I think I'll just pop on Circle of Debate and just hop on with the boys and, of course, have some fun with theirs. So if you miss Raw Dogging with Dom, you can still catch that as well on their live. And they'll be live for NXT as well. I won't be live tomorrow, but NXT will be on, and the watch party for Circle of Debate will be on as well. So be on the lookout for that. A huge shout out to Devin the Tribal Chief. Devin the Tribal Chief live streams as well. He'll be live streaming NXT as well. So be on the lookout for both of those boys. I mean, they do great work all around. I want to promote on one and not the other because we love them both. We love them. The love is equal here in the Heel Turn podcast over here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.